Hi, thanks for popping in. My name's Janice Waitman and I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator over 25 years now. And tonight what I'm going to share with you are a couple of products that are available during the end of this winter 2021 celebration. So I'm going to be using the Approaching Perfection Celebration stamp set and the Oso Ombre Celebration DSP. So I'll set the supply list aside for now and we'll get started. This is the celebration catalog for the winter of 2021. And the product I'm going to be using is on pages 6 through 7. This is the Approaching Perfection stamp set. It's free with a $50 net order. And this is the Oso Ombre Designer Series paper. And again, that is also free with a $50 order. So if you spend $100, you could get both of these free. Okay, so let me put that aside, the celebration catalog, and put this one aside. So here we go, here's the stamp set. This is such a cute one. It's got some fun verses in here. The bad news is, I forgot your birthday. The good news is, I forgot your age. And then they've got a birthday balloon, which is part of every birthday set. Candles. So what if you're a year older? You're fabulous. And then your generic happy birthday greeting. If things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. And I like it when they mix the fonts, the script with a bold. And then newsflash, birthdays found to be good for health. Studies show that people who have more birthdays live the longest. Well, that is very true. Okay, so that's the stamp set we're using. And this is the DSP. Now this is the Oso Ombre paper. It comes in a 6" by 6" size. And there's 4 coordinating colors. You have Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to turn over here. You have Granny Apple Green. Let's go over here. You have Bermuda Bay and you have Rococo Rose. And it either comes in the pattern with the little circles that look like bubbles, or it has the ombre where it goes from light to dark. So those are the 4 coordinating colors. And as I said, you get 48 sheets. And there's so many things you can do with these. So pretty. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the Bermuda Bay, and it's just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock cut in half. And I'm just going to fold it in half. I usually just have the ends touch, and then I crease it with my finger. And then when I get that first crease, I go over it with my bone folder. And I like to flip it over so both sides have a nice strong crease. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of that Designer Series paper, and I just cut it down a 1/4 inch smaller than the card base. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to take some ribbon. In this case, I'm going to use the Silver Edge metallic ribbon. And I'm just going to make it just a little bit wider than the card. And just use my snips. And no bow here, so no worries about that. And I'm just going to turn it over here. I'm going to use our new adhesive. And this is the seal. It's very sturdy. Sometimes it just may be a little bit tricky getting it going. You just need to use your finger, or you can use the silicone sheet. And I'm just going to put 2 little strips of adhesive here. I'm going to have to come around this way. Get out of the way. There. There we go. And just stick it there. Sometimes I use a piece of Scotch tape to secure it. Okay, and I just want to make sure it's on there straight. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to go back here, and it's like a rolling stop. California stop. I just keep going around and dragging the adhesive with me. You get, I think, a little over 16 yards there, so that should last you a while. And this is really sturdy adhesive. So I'm just going to center this on the card base. Pretty colors, nice and springy. And we could use a little nice and springy right now. Then I'm going to use the Layering Squares framelit dies. These are awesome. I consider them one of the basics. You get 19 dies in here, and they're nested in the sense that there's different layers, so different sizes. Some have scallop edge, some are just straight squares. But this is perfect with an assortment of stamp projects, so that's why I think they're a basic. And I just used 2 of those, and I cut one with the scallop and Bermuda Bay, and one with the white. So you just find the size that works for you. I'm going to make this card monochromatic, so I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay ink to coordinate with the Bermuda Bay paper. And I'm going to do the candles first. And I'm just going to stamp them at the top of the card. And while I'm at it, see, I picked up an edge. I pushed a little bit too hard. So I'm going to kind of clean it here. Here's another product I want to share with you. This is the Stampin' Chamois. And it's just like a little foam pad. It's $8. You just get it wet. You can put it under the sink and kind of squeeze out the excess water. And you just keep it handy by your stamp area. And that picks off any of the extra ink. It does get kind of dirty looking, but once you just run it under the water, it cleans it off in terms of ink on here. So even though it looks dirty, it works just fine. And then you just clean it, run it under the sink, let it dry overnight. And I just keep mine in a clear stamp case. Okay, so I'm going to try to stamp this again without picking up an edge. Straight up, straight down. There we go, perfect. And this is an insert for the inside of the card. So I'm going to just put that at the bottom. So I try to do all my stamping at one time and then maybe some candles at the bottom of the card. Now I'm going to put happy birthday, the greeting, on the bottom and just kind of center it. There you go, beautiful color. Put that aside and let's go ahead and assemble this card. Okay, here's the card insert. Again, I'm going to get it going. There we go. And you can't see it, it's clear, but adhesive is coming out. Put this on the inside of the card. And then we're going to put these two layers together. There we go. And just kind of center it on that scalloped edge. And now I'm going to take some dimensionals or pop dots, whatever you like to call them. And you can see they're little hexagon shapes here. But if you've got the edges, don't throw those away. Just cut them apart and then you've still got them. You can maximize your usage here. So I'm just going to pull off some of these edges and we're going to pop this up on the card. I just like to put them in all four corners. There you go. Helps if you get a hold of it. Okay, that's more than I wanted. There we go. So don't throw those little edges away. So these are one of the basics. I could not survive without dimensionals. There you go, just pop it up on here, and that looks lovely, but there's one more thing we want to do. We're going to take the rhinestones and take your pick tool, and I'm going to use the smaller rhinestones. The Take Your Pick tool has different ends for different uses. It's $10. It's an awesome tool. Has a little putty at the end for picking up embellishments. So I'm just going to take the smaller rhinestones here and just pop them on top of the candles. Just like that. And now we have an envelope and the card insert, so then it's ready to go for gift giving. So it wouldn't take you very long to make 20 of these. Just cut all the paper, do all the stamping, and then assembly. You could probably make 20 cards easily in an hour while watching your favorite TV show. Here's the same card design done with a different designer series paper color. This is the Blackberry Bliss. So it looks just as good. And you can make up a bunch and give these as giftables to someone. Maybe give someone a dozen happy birthday cards or different greetings to have on hand. So let me share with you the supply list. The stamp set we used was one of the Celebration Options, Approaching Perfection. The DSP, and I'm just going to lay this down here. The DSP is the Oso Ombre, one of the Celebration Options as well. And again, these are free with a $50 net purchase. The ink, we use Bermuda Bay. The cardstock, we used Bermuda Bay and Basic White. The accessories we used were the rhinestones. We put those on top of the candle flames. The silver metallic edge ribbon, that's from the annual catalog. Dimensionals. And then we use the simple chamois. And I like to point that out because a lot of times people don't even know what that exists and where to find it in the catalog. But it's an awesome tool to use. And then this is the standard stamp case. You can buy the empty ones for purposes like this, or to store things in, or just to replace, maybe you have a stamp case that's cracked or broken and you need a new one. And then the silicone craft sheet, which is great if you're doing anything like maybe working with a glue gun, or again, if you want to use it to get your adhesive started, or if you just got some messy glue projects and you just want to lay this on your work surface to kind of keep it clean. And then the last thing we used was the Stamp and Seal. The brand new one like this with the case is $8, and it's a little over 16 yards, and you can get a refill for $5.50. But they're awesome. I like these a lot. They're really nice and secure. So those are the cards we created. Thank you for popping in, and be sure to visit my blog, www.stampaholics.com, and get lots of ideas and inspiration and information on upcoming events. Take care and make it a great day.